Ontario. Welcome to the Meridian Center in St. Catharines, Ontario, home to the 2021 Canada Summer Games. The 2-1 Edmonton Stingers taking on the 1-2 Niagara River Lions, the first of two games here this afternoon/evening. Welcome everybody inside. Jason Tom here alongside Joe Rasso. We're back once again after a couple of days off. Sean Woodley and Javon Shepard kept the seats quite warm for us. We will be back live with some pre-game chat and conversation. But first, we'll go to some quick commercials and we'll be right back.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, Kotak Law.
Time to rep your CEBL pride, Canada. Exclusive New Era merchandise is now available on CEBL.ca. Buy your favorite hats, replica jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Welcome to our game. Edmonton Stingers fans, get 12% off 2021 season tickets by placing your $50 deposit before August 9th, 2020. Visit CEBL.ca/thestingers and take advantage of this exclusive summer series offer. Welcome to a new basketball experience. River Lions fans, right now you can get 12% off 2021 season tickets by placing your $50 deposit before August 9th, 2020. Visit riverlions.ca and take advantage of this exclusive summer series offer. Welcome to a new basketball experience.
Welcome back to the CEBL Summer Series. And now we're going to welcome in Amy Audibert. Amy?
Yeah, thank you, Jason. There certainly are some heavy faces around this Edmonton Stingers organization this morning, and that's because of the sudden passing last night of Travis Daniels' sister. Now, we are certainly protecting and respecting the privacy of Travis and his family, but what I can tell you is moments ago I spoke with team president Brett Frazier, and he told me, he just left the locker room, he told me that this team right now is all about rallying around each other. Now, Travis is listed to start right now, but we'll see moving forward. It's devastating news, and this team does have a family atmosphere. We said that before the ball even went up. They need it now more than ever. Jason?
Thank you, Amy. Obviously changes the tone around this game, and as you mentioned, the Edmonton Stingers are a very close group, and really everybody involved in this entire league really connected by a string. We saw that when Dwayne Notice went down with injury the other day, and when news like this starts getting around as well, it changes everything and really puts things into perspective with everything that's going on nowadays and all around the world. And we walked in today and heard this news, Joe. It was something that really changes things in general, and also as a coach, you have to respect your player, but more often than not, players do want to play to be able to get that escape from reality.
Well, what people have to realize is this is their sanctuary. This is where they leave all their personal stuff in the locker room. They come out here, they train, they play, they compete, and on the way out they grab their personal stuff and they take it with them. This is a real tough day, and I think for guys like Travis, nothing's more important than this.
Welcome everybody again. Jason Tom here alongside Joe Rasso, and Joe, after news like that, obviously basketball seems to take a back seat, but we are here to talk about the game. We're here to talk about the CEBL Summer Series, and we really are right in the thick of things right now. You had said right at the beginning of this series that no one's going to go undefeated, and more likely than not, no one's going to go winless. And what do you know? Here we are sitting in the middle of things, and it seems like everyone's 1-2 or 2-1. And when you talk about the keys of the game between the Stingers and the River Lions, this is just a huge matchup for both teams.
It's monstrous, and both teams are trending in different directions, so it becomes more important. With Niagara, okay, so let me go with Edmonton first then. You have to be physical. Edmonton has to be physical without fouling. That's really important. And then they got to defend the three-point line because Niagara will shoot in transition. And then it's penetration and then reaction. How do they get to the middle, and what do they do after Xavier Moon gets to the middle?
And we're going to check in right now with Victor Razzo, who's alongside Amy Otterberg.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Coach, 2 days off. And so what have been the points of emphasis after that Guelph game?
I mean, the biggest thing for us was just going through some team stuff, you know, like we have a unique situation with half the guys from a previous team and then a bunch of new guys, and we've had our difficulties kind of figuring everything out. So as a team, these last 2 days have been kind of get back to the drawing board, get back to roles, get everybody on the same page, realize this isn't last year, it's a new year, and then really just get our togetherness together.
Turnovers have been a bit of an issue for you guys, and so is that your style of play, or is that mental with this group you have?
I think it's us trying to force the pace of play a little bit. You know, we've had, I think, 60 turnovers in 3 games. And you're not going to win much with 60 turnovers. So it's a big point of emphasis with us going a little bit too fast when we don't need to, just trying to get guys on the same page. But we'll clean that up today.
All right, I wish you ball security, Coach. Good luck in the game. We'll go back to you guys.
Thank you, Amy. And, I mean, when it comes down to it, let's go from the head coach of the River Lions to the keys to the game when you're talking about the Niagara River Lions, Joe.
Well, I think the one thing they've got to be is more physical than finesse. They've got to set the tone inside. They got to get to the free throw line. They got to have an inside presence, and they've got to play hard. They have to play with urgency. It's a huge part of this game. You've got to play for 40 minutes and extend it. And the last one is to control the ball on defense. They got to control Xavier Moon from getting to the middle, getting to that elbow where he can create. They've got to get back in transition and stop them from getting in the middle of the paint. Tough task.
Absolutely, especially when you got the MVP and another nickname I got for him, Mid-Range Moon. Xavier's mid-range game is absolutely killer. And a change in the starting lineup for the River Lions is interesting to hear Coach Rasso mention the fact that they're trying to deal with some former players and current players getting together, and now they're going back to a starting 5 of Ryan Anderson, Trey Bell-Haynes, Cassius Robertson, Dion Boucard, and Sam Muldrow, meaning that Daniel Mulling's coming off the bench, while on the Stingers side, Xavier Moon, Jordan Baker, who has been a beast, Matthew Kamba, who's also been outstanding, Mambi Diawara, and Travis Daniels, who we had mentioned previously, playing with a heavy heart. Be interesting to see how he comes out. Something tells me he'll have an impact in this game one way or another.
Yeah, no question about it. He's been playing real well, and he's a talented guy. You look at that starting lineup, the guy you don't mention Peter Dika Peter McNeely in there, who will finish for Edmonton.
Absolutely, and the game officials for this game, Tony Turnbull, Chris Bucella, and our out-of-province official out of Quebec, Max Audette. We've talked about it time and time again how Canadian basketball is exploding all over, and Quebec is one of those provinces, so very interesting as well to see that we got an official here from Quebec. It's not only in the playing side of things where they're making an impact. Sorry, it's Vern Bovell in for Tony Turnbull today. We have a late scratch in the officials, and thank you for Joe Razzo stepping in with that. Always on top of things, Joe.
I know my officials. I've dreamt about them.
Spoken like a former coach. And a reminder, the official game ball of the Canadian Elite Basketball League is Spalding. Get your new CEBL official replica ball today by visiting CEBL.ca. Proud to announce that Joe Rasso has ordered me one of those. That's what I was told, at least, Joe.
Well, listen, I put it to good use now that you're moving to the Niagara Peninsula.
Absolutely, right? Just need to repave that driveway, and me and the 6-year-old daughter will be out there giving it heck. We thank you again for joining us. Game 1 of 2 today. I love the 3 o'clock and 5:30 start time. No need to wait till the evening, but again, we are at the midway point of the CEBL Summer Series. You got the Stingers, you got the River Lions, and talking to head coach Jermaine Small before this game, he said, man, this is a big game, but every game's a big game when it comes down to it, obviously, in this series. But he was also mentioning the fact that because everybody's sitting at 1-2 and 2-1, every point counts when it comes down to it.
Yeah, absolutely. The plus minus is going to be a big factor. But what I like about this series so far is I think there's parity.
Yes.
But it's who's working the hardest sometimes is winning. So we've had great games where both teams have gone all out and played great basketball. But I think the parity is good. But we've had a couple blowouts just because other teams have outworked other teams.
Yes, you can see that teams are working their way back in. Watching from home yesterday while Javon and Sean did their normal killer job, just seemed like there was not as much downtime for these players. They didn't seem to be, emptying the gas tank in the first half. They were able to carry that momentum throughout, and off the tip, it's the River Lions with the rock as we start off live from the Meridian Center on cbcsports.ca and the CBC Gem app. Cassius Robertson down low to Muldrow over Jordan Baker. That's going to be a matchup to watch all game long. Xavier Moon rebound, and he's down the court already.
I like the fact they put Jordan Baker on Sam Muldrow. If they can force Sam to shoot, far out twos, then the defense wins on that one.
Baker to Daniels. Rims out the three. Robertson with the rebound. Baker gets his hand. He has been active throughout the summer series.
He's been active and he's been physical and he's been making big baskets and big plays and done a great job on the defensive end.
Guillaume Boucard hands it off. Trey Bell-Haynes. Robertson. Nice fake, leading to the three. Cashing it is Cassius Robertson.
And it looked like Edmonton was in a little bit of a matchup there. A little confusion on their part.
Moon. Just a blur, but Sam Muldrow wipes him out with the swat.
And that's where Sam is really good as a shot blocker, when he can extend himself. If you get right up into his body, then you can nullify him a little bit.
Baker up top. Diawara. Moon running off the screens, away from the ball, gets it back to Diawara. Free throw line. Ooh, looked like he got it off late. Guess what? Doesn't matter. Missed everything. Back the other way to River Lions.
Good series for Niagara. They needed to build their defense up on that.
Yeah, River Lions haven't had a good start as of yet. And I think that's what they were looking for by moving Daniel Mullings to the bench in favor of Ryan Anderson.
What Ryan Anderson does for you is he spaces the floor.
And there he missed the long rebound, and Kamba comes back the other way. Miscommunication there. Anderson just had a perfect opportunity at the long board and did not take it. Moon to Baker. Baker picks up his dribble, finds Diawara. He throws an elbow into the mush of Trey Bell-Haynes and gets two to go.
Yeah, great identification by Jordan Baker there. He saw the double team coming and he made the right read on that skip, forcing Niagara to have to close out hard.
Anderson. Boucard. Muldrow's got Xavier Moon down low, but Bell-Haynes takes advantage of his mismatch.
So
Go ahead.
That mismatch created a situation where you had spacing now. They had to help, so all of a sudden the guy in the corner is open for a three.
Anytime you see a mouse in the house, that means somewhere else on the floor is also an opportunity for the offense. Moon, mid-range Moon, back rim. Smart move. Muldrow takes it off the rim.
That's better than a block shot when you can take the ball off the rim like that.
Robertson no good. Muldrow getting after it. Back the other way. Baker transition two is good. Stingers getting up and down the floor, Joe.
Absolutely, and this is what they're very strong at, and they get up and down the floor with 5.
Oh, great pass with Travis Daniels there for the block. Kamba back the other way, taking it right at the body, called for the block.
Yeah, great take there by Kamba. Strong take down the wing. Ryan Anderson not ready.
This week, the CEBL has been trending across Canada. You can join the conversation by using the hashtag #OurGame. Such a strong social media presence across this league. Make sure you follow all the different team accounts. Great to follow along while they start chirping one another in-game, after the game, pre-game. It carries onto the floor here as well. Again, hashtag #OurGame on all your social media platforms. 6-4 here. The River Lions with an early lead. Robertson. Poked away. Xavier Moon active defensively as he always is.
One of the things you'll find about Niagara is they'll play through certain matchups where they can. In that case, they look at who's defending, and if they can get Xavier Moon inside the paint to post him up, not only do they get a chance to score, they're also looking at opportunities where he's going to foul.
Edgem cannot corral the pass. That's Ryan Edgem. Turnover. Stingers will get it back down 2.
And those were the turnovers Coach Razzle was talking about before the game. Great seal, good pass, just got to concentrate and catch that ball.
Xavier Moon making sure the cameras can keep up with them. They always appreciate it. Again, we're using the AI cameras here. No camera people in attendance for this one on our main cams. Moon, ooh, crossover, step back, jumper. Xavier Moon is smooth.
Yeah, and he did that against a very good defender in Guillaume Boucard, who may be the River Lions' best on-ball defender.
Trey Bell-Haynes working back the other way, finds Edgem. Edgem can't get it to go. Baker, chairman of the boards, every game he's out there. Diawara, kick out. Moon, wide open. Good night, Moon.
Great situation where they penetrate and have Moon on the trail. Nice find by Diawara.
Edmonton now with a 3-point lead. Edgem gets it poked away by Baker. The Stingers extremely active defensively right now.
Yeah, good roll. But Ryan's got to be able to finish that. You can't have that poked away. That's a dunk. That's just not a hard take.
Brody Clark checking in for the first time in the game. He has been so impressive for the Stingers. Robertson into the corner. Bell Haynes again on Baker. Poked away. Edgem back out. Robertson gets it back into the corner. Bell Haynes, ring that bell. We're tied at 9.
It's a big score because that was a broken possession. They just found it at the end of the clock in a situation where they could penetrate and kick it out.
Moon calling out a play. Clark pops out to the 3-point line. The Baker handoff. The Kamba. Diawara up top. 4 on the shot clock. They have burnt every second they have, and they did not get it off in time. The second 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just the over dribble. That's when you catch the ball and you got to be able to be ready to shoot so that you can pass it. It's that 2 dribbles that cost them the shot clock violation.
Checking in, Daniel Mullings, who started the previous 3 games for the River Lions. But I'll tell you this, in talking to Mullings before the game, he's excited to come in off the pine. Boucard taking it at the hole. He almost found Mullings, but again, this time it's Peter McNeely swiping away the pass. Nice pass down low. Daniels gets bodied by Edgem. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Both these teams are fortunate. They're bringing off great players off the bench. There'll be guys that come in as their 6th man, but at the end of the day, when you look at their top 5 and players in minutes, both those guys will be included in the top 5.
Speaks a lot to the league in general this year, I think, Joe, the depth that each roster has. We are inside the 5-minute mark of the first quarter. We will be back to the Meridian Center after a short break.
It was a code 10, hard water again. Worst part is Claire was unaware. Ah.
Hey, Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
Okay, are you 90?
I'm not.
Okay, secondly, how do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
And thirdly, how do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
Goodly. I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water. Stay soft, right?
You stay soft.
Good water doesn't just come to you. Oh, wait. In this case, yes, it did.
Follow the Edmonton Stingers on social media right now to get the latest news, updates, and behind-the-scenes access that the Stingers have to offer. Follow the Niagara River Lions on social media right now to get the latest news, updates, and behind-the-scenes access that the River Lions have to offer.
You're watching the CEBL Summer Series live on CBC Gem and CBCSports.ca. That is Travis Daniels at the line, shooting 2. The game's tied at 9, 4:49 to go in the first quarter of game 1 of 2 here today, live from St. Catharines, Ontario.
I think the fact that Edmonton can establish inside takes, like they've taken the ball to the basket, got themselves the free throw line already, is really important because they're a physical team that looks at doing that all the time.
Tyrone Watson in the game now for the River Lions as well. He brings tons of grit and muscle to the interior for Niagara. Robertson running off the screen. Frees himself up. That's what he does, but he short arms it.
Edmonton did a nice job there, 2-2-1 into a 2-3 zone and slowed up Niagara tremendously on that.
Brody Clark. This is the kid versus the vet. The kid kick out. Peter McNeely hits it from downtown.
And that's a second 3. They've done a great job of getting in the middle, seeing the ball come inside, and then kicking it out. So he probes, does a great job of getting in the middle, and kicks it out.
Robertson gets himself to the baseline. Throws it out of bounds off the attempted pass to Mullings. Dorian Pinson now checking in for Robertson for the River Lions. Stingers up 5. Peter McNeely. Daniels. Clark. Handoff to Moon. Moving screen on a Brody Clark. River Lions get the rock back.
Yeah, just get set. Just got him on the roll, I think. You got to finish your ball, your screens. One of the things a lot of players do is they try to run these half screens, not ghost screens, but just did not set themselves in that case.
Bell Haynes with Moon all over him. And didn't poke it away, but bothered him enough that Haynes coughed it up. Kamba to Clark. He's working on Mullings, but Mullings doesn't matter about size. It's the size of the fight and the dog, and Mullings strips him.
So 2 turnovers on 2 great steals by defensive players putting pressure on the basketball.
Mullings to Watson. Haynes in the corner. And there he is again. Xavier Moon, he said, I've got the MVP under my belt. Now I'm going after the Defensive Player of the Year, Joe.
Well, you know what? If he's going to put that type of intensity on both ends of the court, then he is really a special player. That's incredible to ask him for 7 minutes now to put that type of pressure on the basketball while he's leading the team.
Emmanuel Uatua checking in. Bell Haynes has had his hands full with Xavier Moon. And then Randy Glaze, the former Stinger, checking in as well. Watson back to Uatua. He'll be going to Brock next year. Mullings for 3, gets the roll, gets the rim. Daniel Mullings likes it.
And that's a big shot for the River Lions, but they still haven't made a field goal from inside the 3. And that's important. That gets back to that finesse and not tacking the basket hard enough.
Daniels. That is a foul called.
One of the things with both the ball pressure that Daniel Mullings could put on the ball and that Xavier Moon could put on the basketball, you just got to watch where you're making the contact. That far away from the basket, you can still influence the play without fouling on that.
Moon with Uatua on him. This will be a great challenge for the U Sports Emmanuel Uatua. Oh, Moon finds Daniels and Glaze with a hard foul. Pick up the latest gear from your favorite team exclusively from New Era, the official merchandise partner of the CEBL. 7 teams across Canada, every one of them with an outstanding logo and kit. Visit cebl.ca, click on shop. You can have your selection of these amazing jerseys, logos, hats, and New Era does it right. 2:35 to go here in the first quarter. The Stingers with a 3-point lead. We were tied early on, but they've been able to maintain that one possession lead through the entire second half of this opening quarter. No good on the free throw, so River Lions have a chance to tie it up with a 3. Glaze. Mullings down to Watson. He's working Peter McNeely. These two know each other fairly well, and Watson just bullies his way for 2.
And that's important because that's their first field goal inside the 3. They showed a little bit of presence inside on that.
You hear Glaze screaming out, ice him. Moon says he can ice this. Take this 3. Hold on to that for me.
He has showed us everything. The 3, passing from the 3-point position, stealing the ball on defense.
Oh, and Moon with the steal. Back the other way. Xavier Moon, lefty off glass, is good.
And he showed us a little bit more. That's just a tremendous read.
And he does it all without an expression change on his face. Pinson. Glaze called for the foul. I think Baker remembers practicing against Grandy, and was easy to wait for that contact to draw the foul.
You know, we talked about turnovers early for Niagara. These are terrible turnovers for Niagara. You have the possession of the basketball. It's just you being more demonstrative than you have to be. You've got position in there. You can't give the ball away on a mental error like that. And they've had a few turnovers this half that were mental errors.
Yeah, not as many turnovers, but you're right, Joe. It's the type of turnover that is definitely hurting the River Lions right now. Baker, 3 is good. The Stingers have come out on fire from range.
And that was a dare you 3. That was a situation where they said, okay, we don't think you can do it, but he's been doing it all tournament. He's been knocking it down.
Mullins to Watson. Nice cut by Uatua. He gets to the baseline. He's cut off. Back to Watson. Up top. Edgem. No good. Moon with the rebound. He is just stuffing the stat sheet. Mullings poked it away, and the River Lions will have an opportunity here with 50 seconds left. And I'll tell you this, I know it's early in the game, but the River Lions really need something positive here to end the first quarter, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you'll find is the two teams on offense, I'm going to say the biggest difference is Niagara's pausing the ball every time somebody touches it. Doesn't move. It just sticks to somebody's hand for a second, maybe half a second too long. Where if you watch Xavier led Edmonton, they move the basketball and guys are touching it and they make a read to draw a double to kick it out. The ball's not sticking right now, and the ball for Niagara is sticking.
Seems like the River Lions are just thinking their way through it. As Victor Razzo said off the top there, we're still trying to get everybody together. It's great to have some returning players, but when you're split down the middle like that, you have the opportunity there where half the team's thinking one way, another half's thinking another, and it's very important, obviously, for these guys to understand it's definitely a different squad. Again, Jason Tom here alongside Joe Razzo. Third member of our team is Amy Otterbert. She'll check in with us in just a little while. And Joe, when you're talking about a 9-point lead with 50 seconds left, we've seen it time and time again in this summer series. A lot of the teams that fall behind early, not a lot of opportunity to battle back.
No, there isn't, and it's because people put their pedal, the pedal to the metal, and they haven't stopped. And that's the good thing about this series, because everybody knows every win is so important. Now, the nice thing about after 3 games, the weakest team has 1 win, the best team has 2. Everybody's still in it. Yeah. But you got to come out, and here, a timeout with 50 seconds to go in the first quarter is sending a message, because now you got to regroup in the second quarter. So they just don't want this to run away from them.
Uatua. The River Lions have rifled through much of their roster here in the first quarter. They've been doing that all summer series long. Uatua almost loses it. Mullings to Pinson. 3 ball straight up is good. That is a big time play. They needed that.
And the three-point ball has been saving Niagara. They've been late in the clock. They've hit a couple of them.
Mullings battling through two screens. Diawara gets it to Peter McNeely. Adika Peter McNeely back rim. Uatua. Pinson looks down low, poked away by Overwater. The Stingers active defensively. They got 5 left in the quarter. Peter McNeely on Uatua. Peter McNeely from range. And Edgem called for the foul.
And if you look at that whole sequence of event, the foul's it's a bad foul to take that far away from the basket. But Dorian Pinson throwing the ball inside to the post to the wrong side with 5 and 6 seconds on the clock, and you're going to finish the quarter, that's one of those mental lapses.
Yeah, Edgem did not allow him to land, and Peter McNeely bricks the first free throw. That's not a turnover, Joe, but it hurts just as much as one.
Well, yeah, and it started with when you have the ball in the end of the quarter, you want to take the last shot. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where they're coming back playing defense. And now they get the ball to start the second quarter. So,
Peter McNeely, 2 of 3.
Great decision by Peter McNeely to draw that foul.
25-17, the Stingers up 8. The River Lions continue to struggle to score. They scored just 69 points in the last game. They're down 8 after the first. We'll be back to St. Catharines, Ontario on cbcsports.ca and the CBC Gem app.
What is 100 years? In 1920, Erhard Cook turned a passion for headwear into the New Era Cap Company in Buffalo, New York. But everyone was making this kind of hat. So we came up with the big idea to make the best caps for the biggest sport. But something wasn't quite right. We wanted to show the logos with pride. And just like that, the iconic 5950 was born, changing the baseball cap forever. For the first time, the caps the pros wore on the field were officially sold in stores. And then something unique happened. Spike Lee called, the Spike Lee, and asked to have a red Yankees cap to match his jacket. We asked Major League Baseball, and they said, we had a chance to be disruptive. Spike's red cap launched sports headwear into a wider culture. Hip-hop made it a staple. Creators made it their own. Colors, fabrics, patterns. It was more than just your favorite team. And a gold sticker on the visor became as iconic as the cap itself. And those 4 numbers, we think it's an original production number. We don't know for sure, but we love them. From courtside to Crenshaw, from the 50 to 5th, it shouted that this is who you were, what you repped, and where you lived. The world saw it and wanted it. Where were we? Staying true to our roots. Fans of all sports became fans of us. People liked what we were doing, so our brand grew, and we became more than just a cap. That's 100 years. We thank you. Enjoy what comes next.
The Stingers with some lockdown D, but it's the River Lions starting off the second quarter with a steal. And the trailer, Big Sam Muldrow, no good from range. The Stingers have been awesome in that first quarter, and Peter McNeely with 3 steals and 5 points in just 5 minutes of floor time. And it was the Stingers forcing the River Lions to 5 turnovers in the final 5 minutes of that opening quarter. They almost turn it over there, does Edmonton.
Well, Daniel Mullings had 2 very good possessions there. One on the opening inbounds there, and then at defensively helping out. That's where he is their best defender for Niagara.
These are always interesting minutes for the Stingers, the minutes without the MVP on the floor. Deep 3, no good. Active defensively are the River Lions, and it's Uatua pushing the other way. He finds Pinson. Transition 3, Pinson 2 for 2 from downtown. 2 or 3 from downtown.
And that's important because he hasn't had a real good series yet, and he had a great year last year for them.
Overwater. Diawara. Pull up. off balance, no good. The tip out for the River Lions, but this time it does not go their way. Peter McNeely, who had a solid 5 minutes in that opening quarter, dumps it off to Baker. Basket and the bump, Jordan Baker.
Yeah. Great find of Jordan Baker cutting, always going to the basket, just trying to get his hands on the ball. They find him on that. And then a little reach in. But that's where Jordan Baker's going to score his baskets. But that started with a long rebound where they got out-hustled. And the 50-50 ball, that's where Edmonton's been their strong. The last 2 games, they've been outstanding in that stat.
Baker is good on the 3-point conversion to push the lead up to 8.
So
Watson.
This 2-2-1 does a real good job. They control pace. They've got Niagara slowing down completely. Now they're playing with a 14-second shot clock in the midcourt.
2 guys who love contact, Baker and Watson. And you can tell after that play, they both give each other some daps.
Yeah, and those arms on both those guys aren't pasties. They're the real thing. Those guys have worked hard to look like that.
These guys are, I'm guessing at the team hotel, they're sitting there at 5:55 waiting for the weight room to open at 6. Mullings loses the inbounds pass, gets some contact, gets it to go, looking for a call, didn't get it, but he'll take that 2 and get back on D. Oh, Baker, quick first step, and is good. He continues to kill it in the summer series.
Yeah, but he just abused Sam Muldrow on that. He brought him outside, and all of a sudden, that little closeout, that was it.
Oh, and Muldrow got him to bite on the 3-ball fake. Can't get the roll. All kinds of River Lions in there for the rebound. Daniels to Baker. Back to Daniels. Little give and go by the bigs.
But the difference is Edmonton is going to the rim, attacking the rim. We look at the number of free throws at the line, at the free throws they've had already, and Niagara hasn't even shot a free throw yet. This is the difference. There, Jordan goes out on Sam Muldrow. He pump fakes, but he settles for the 2.
This is one of those situations where the numbers tell the story. As we were seeing pregame, the River Lions, in their lone win in this summer series, shot 24 free throws. In their 2 losses, a combined 29.
That you can't settle. You can't be a finesse team. Not in this series. The finesse team in this series is not going to be able to play.
Yeah, not in the CEBL. We're now halfway through what is considered season 2, and we've talked time and time again about Canada basketball and the style. We are now finding the style of a Canadian basketball team. Canadian basketball players and Canadian Basketball League. And there is a definitive style of the CEBL, and you are right, Joe. Finesse is not the name of the game. Bell Haynes, a little pick and roll, but goes the other way. Baseline cutter, great ball movement. Mullings, no good. You hear Coach Victor Razzle saying, "Get back, Dorian." Oh, and Moon's back in the game. He snuck in before I could see him. Good cut, Diawara. Ooh, that's a late whistle.
And that was just a situation where somebody got middle on you, you know, and you're chasing, and you can't, like on defense, what you want to do, you want to dictate. You don't want to chase. And right now, Niagara's just chasing the ball.
You get beat, and as you mentioned, are chasing. You're just making it easier on the official to make that call. Even if it wasn't a foul, it's easier for them to blow the whistle. You're out of position. You're a step behind. No good from the line. Bell Haynes. Foul called on the pass. A reminder that Coventry is the official transportation partner of the CEBL Summer Series. Coventry has been here every day, dropping off the teams, picking them up post-game in order to ensure we adhere by the COVID guidelines, getting them out of here as soon as possible back to the team hotel. Pinson. Going to call for the Watson screen. Pinson, pull up again. Well, Dorian Pinson is keeping the River Lions in this game. He cuts it to 8.
Dorian can do a lot for them. He can shoot the ball, he can take it to the basket. They need some defensive stops if they want to get in the game, because Edmonton has done a great job of just coming back and countering everything that Niagara throws at them.
Oh, a little too much dribbling. Bell Haynes. Oh, that is a tough take. And Jermaine Small wants a timeout. He does not let, and it's amazing, a defensive stop turning into 2, and all of a sudden Coach Small wants to talk things over. 6:38 to go here in the second quarter. 6-point lead for the Stingers. Stay with us. We'll be back to St. Catharines, Ontario.
Well, when I was younger in high school, I was a pretty good athlete. Went to the provincial championships in most sports like volleyball, track, basketball, and of course the goalie. But lately I've been going up the stairs like Fred Sanford. That's why I use Inflamex. Remember, 2 M's, 2 X's.
Inflamex is formulated to relieve joint pain, helps address pain and inflammation at the cellular level, and is GMO-free and allergen-free.
I'm doing better with a little help from my friends at Bell Lifestyle Products, so you can do the things that you do best.
Oh, yeah!
Spend 2 nights in Ottawa and get $100 spending money on us. Dinner and drinks? It's on us. Or culture and sightseeing? It's on us. So relax. It's on us. Spend 2 nights and get $100.
A mark of legacy, a mark of our game. Spalding is the official basketball partner of the CEBL. Get your replica CEBL game ball now at cebl.ca and take our game to your courts.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, Kotak Law.
Welcome back inside the Meridian Center, where the River Lions hit the three-point play, and we have a 5-point game. You're seeing a lot of fire right now from Dorian Pinson. This is a guy that is listed a guard, he plays a guard, but they have also went small and put Dorian in at the 4 position. It's certainly an advantage the River Lions have. I talked to Dorian about that, and he said, quite honestly, he didn't like it at first when he was used at the 4, but he said he's learned to realize it's whatever the team needs. And so I asked him who he models his game after, and of course, with a grin, he said he's not as good, but I like to say Draymond Green. Guys?
Thank you, Amy. Kareem South hit his 3, and then back the other way, Tyrone Watson with a 2.
Trading baskets with last 2 possessions. Down late in the clock for Edmonton. Lots of patience.
Look at that. Moon no good, but he almost got his own rebound. Foul called. Momentum starting to swing back the way of the River Lions. As part of the CEBL social justice work, you will hear players, coaches, and staff speak out against racism. Racism is not our game. It's featured at each baseline and on the back of the players' warm-up shirts as a reminder of the work we all need to do for equality in Canada. It's been a very, very important theme that is not below the surface here in the CEBL, something that is consistently being talked about among the players as these 2 teams trade threes. 5-point lead still for the Stingers.
Right now, as you're getting a little bit further into the series, your half-court execution becomes so important.
Kamba. Oh, good defense by Watson. Mullings to Watson. Transition. Tough. Sorry, that was Pinson to Watson. It was Mullings running on the wing. I had Mullings on the mind because after he hit that 3 the last time down the floor, he had a little chirp for Kareem South, a little Scarborough on Scarborough conversation there. I'm sure they've had that a couple of times out on the blacktop as well.
Well, there's no question that Daniel Mullings came in at the beginning of this quarter, the end of the last quarter, and made the difference. His defense on the basketball has given Niagara some opportunities to run out.
The River Lions really struggled through that first quarter, and it's no surprise that they've been able to rectify things a little bit by taking care of the ball. Still sitting at 7 turnovers, and they had that many in the entire first quarter. So it's been a 5-minute stretch that they've been able to take care of the rock, but things can turn around rather quickly when you have Xavier Moon and the Stingers doing what they do. Brody Clark. Watson just not letting him go anywhere. Turned over by the kid. Bell Haynes Euro stepping, missing. Edgem there following it up. Edgem has struggled close to the rim so far in this series, Joe.
But that was one of the most important plays that he did. Was he ran hard to follow up. A lot of people will stand back and become cheerleaders, and he followed up with the miss, and he got himself in a situation where he's at the line now for 2.
You're also starting to see the River Lions here get into the rotations a little bit more as Boucard checking back in, Anderson back out there. The move to have Mullings to the bench once everybody falls into their roles, I think is going to be a real positive for this squad.
Absolutely. And if we look at that last series, the fact that they could guard a guy straight up and not have to help, then you can get into the passing lanes. It's when you were chasing the ball earlier in the game that you can't get into passing lanes because you're reacting. Now, if you can control the ball, now you can defend the other 4 guys on the pass-off.
We've seen the 2 Golden Bears past and, I guess, sort of present, Brody Clark and Jordan Baker. And Clark has been nullified here in this game, a lot of it having to do with Tyrone Watson. There's Xavier Moon, no good from 3. Transition game from the River Lions. Boucard taking it at Moon, gets it out to Anderson. He's off the mark. You can see it right as he released it.
And that's a shot they want. Ryan Anderson in the open court.
Oh, great find. Baker just threading the needle to Peter McNeely.
And Jordan Baker saw that before he touched the ball. Like, he saw it. That's what I'm saying. There was no pause in the Edmonton flow of the game. They moved the basketball very, very well.
Bell Haynes, Edgem, Pinson. He's been on fire from range. Baker once again getting the hand in there. Can't say enough about Jordan Baker on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he's and you think Jordan Baker was training for the 3-on-3 Olympics, so his focus with Kyle Landry and Steve Sir and their group was to focus on the 3-on-3, and here he is just in great shape, playing great basketball.
Bell Haynes goes behind the back. Oh, nice move on Peter McNeely. Beat the clock, but it rims out. Moon back the other way. The Stingers' lead is down to just 2. Battled down low. Baker hits the floor, and in transition, the River Lions cannot capitalize. Foul by Bell Haynes on Brody Clark.
See, I'm not a big fan. I think a 2-on-1, run properly, you're going to score the 2 80% of the time. And I'd rather take that. I know people say, you got great 3-point shooters to shoot it, but if you have other guys coming down the court to rebound, but that's a lost possession in my opinion.
Funny, because the players always like to be able to pull up for the 3 because they figure they have numbers to rebound, but a lot of the times those players running at full speed find themselves underneath the rim, and the rebound is usually long.
Yeah, but the analytics tell you a 2-on-1 run properly, you're going to score 78% of the time.
Four-point lead for the Stingers. They've been able to nurse this advantage throughout the second quarter. Glaze back out there. Boucard working on Clark. They have tried to take it at Brody Clark, and this one could not get it to go there. A reminder to support your local team. Get the latest news, videos, and highlights through Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Follow the Stingers at ED_Stingers and Niagara at River Lions. Anderson, quick release 3. That's the Ryan Anderson Canadian basketball fans have come to know.
Yeah, he may have the quickest trigger around and has been doing it for a long time. Product from Seattle, Nebraska. Just a pure shooter and a very good passer when he gets the opportunity.
Man, he's been north of the border so long, Joe, I feel like he's a Canadian.
You know, in talking to him, he has plans. You know, he wants to become a landed immigrant. His child, his son was born here. He's been very, very good in his basketball in Canada.
Moon at the line. River Lions in the penalty now. Very good flow in this first half. I know I've had a couple of days off, but you know, we were muddied up with some foul trouble in a couple of the early games. I feel like the teams have kind of found their flows now, understand the whistle a little bit more, and the flow has been outstanding. Moon misses the rebound. The River Lions come out with it. Bell Haynes taking it at Moon.
And I think one of the things that you mentioned there, Jason, I think the important part was, I think early in the series, players thought the referees were going to adapt to the players. And you learn that as it goes on. It was now the players are adapting to the referees. They're looking, they know there's going to be charges on pass-offs. They know that if you swing your arm out, you're going to get called on it. So I think the players have done a good job, and the coaches have adapting to the officials, because I think the officials, their standards have been pretty consistent.
The River Lions have come all the way back from a double-digit deficit to tie it at 41 with 2:05 to go here in the first half. Xavier Moon cooled off a little bit after a warm start. Oh, great pocket pass. Daniels with the smash off the Moon dime.
And that's what we said early in the year when we were talking about the summer series. We said these two imports play together so well that I felt that, you know, Edmonton had the best two imports in the tournament.
Oh, Bell Haynes with all the moves, and it's Glaze there for the tip back.
One of the few offensive rebounds for Niagara.
Moon calling out the play. 1:25 to go. Tied at 43. Great game here. Nice way to start up the afternoon. Baker from range. Oh, stick back jam. Machu Kamba. Yes, sir. Woo.
You don't put a body on someone, you're going to be part of a highlight.
A little bit of flavor with that. Kamba, sorry. Bell Haynes downloaded Glaze. Back up to Bell Haynes. Glaze gets it again. He's fouled from behind by Adika. Peter McNeely puts his hand up, says, yeah, I earned that one. Timeout on the floor, under a minute to go. Definite chess match going on here today, Joe, and I think this is what we expected as we reach the midway point of the summer series. We expected, because at this point, every team has been able to scout every other team, and really it doesn't matter how many returning players you have or how much you know the coaching philosophies, you really don't know what you're playing, the opponents, what they have, until you see them on tape.
Yeah, and the other part of it is the compete factor has to be there. Like, all that stuff is great, but we've had a couple games where the compete factor wasn't there.
Yes.
Now you got the X and O's. So here we got timeout, 52 seconds. Looks like Coach Small going to get the ball after the free throw. Probably looking for a 2-for-1 here. Trying to get the ball and maybe 10, 15 seconds, get a first shot off, play some good defense, and then have a chance to get the ball back. So that's what they're talking about now. They're going to use it or lose a timeout now to set themselves up for something that they want down this other end.
How important are end of halves, end of quarters? I saw a play in the Fraser Valley game the other day. They ended up losing by 1 point. At the end of one of the quarters, there was an opportunity on a fast break. They missed head-manning the ball. They don't get the basket. And when it happened, I said, you know, that's a small play. I believe it was at the end of the third. I'm like, that's a small play, but that could be big if it comes down to one possession. Sure enough, they lose by 1 point.
See, coaches remember that. Fans remember the play at the end of the game. But the coaches remember the play that could have, put them into a better situation at the end of the quarter.
Very important when you're talking about a short summer series like this. Every possession, every play, every point. Man, when it comes down to it, every free throw. And it's Glaze at the line now. Shooting two. Thank you, Rod Mahood. PA announcer here at the Meridian Center. He's been here for every game thus far. Always there to remind me as well. They get caught up in my conversations with Joe, talking basketball. Ooh.
So the Edmonton guys played with Grandy last year. They know that's one of his weaknesses. So
hack him. Moon. Bell Haynes has done a pretty good job on him here in the second quarter. Baker. Oh, Peter McNeely found himself open on the wing. Ooh, he want that one back. Glaze now brings it out. There is a 4-second difference, game clock, shot clock. You know what, let's call it 5. Bell Haynes. Anderson. Glaze comes to set the screen. Anderson sees the double, gets it to Glaze, thought about it. Drive, kick, Bell Haynes, 4 on the shot clock. Trey Bell Haynes draws the foul. I think that's a good call, Joe.
Yeah, he does a great job of drawing it. If you're Edmonton, you're thinking it's 1 second in the shot clock, but I think what Mamba did he turned his back on him and just stuck out his arm and became the victim.
And, you know, Bell Haynes was in the process of shooting, but it was definitely not his normal shooting flow. Jermaine Small gets a warning. Didn't like the call. But what Bell Haynes did is his off arm, he put it out at like a 90-degree angle that caused that contact. I think I would have been okay with a no call there, but you can also obviously see why the whistle was blown.
Yeah, I think Mombi, what he did was he had his back to him and he stuck his arm out and he allowed it to happen. We've had a bunch of those in this series, unlike the NBA where you can grab that rule, sometimes they call it. But here, you know, you put your hand in that situation, you become vulnerable.
And by the way, the whistle was not blown. The whistle was raised. I want to remind everybody we're using the whistleless whistle. I'm sure there's a better way to say it, but it has been working great so far. We're tied at 45. Bell Haynes with a chance to put the River Lions in the lead. And the Stingers are saying...
Yeah, they think Grandy came in, but the ball hit the rim on the front and the back end, and Grandy left on the first tap, and therefore got there without anybody on him.
Well, the Stingers have a chance to get a shot off here, and here's the guy you want to get it to, Xavier Moon. 2 to go. Oh, he splits the D. Oh, Xavier Moon. And they're asking if the ref called a foul.
He had literally went through 5 players.
And you know, as everybody... Yeah.
He went through 5 players.
Wow. That hurts. So Moon had everybody thinking he was going to pull up for 3. Instead, he drove, got to the rim, thought he got fouled, didn't. So not only did the officials not call the foul on Moon, they teed him up for complaining. That...
Well, I just saw a guy go 5 seconds, length of the court, went through 5 guys, and ended up with a tough shot, easy layup coming in.
And with Amy Audibert is Trey Bell Haynes. Amy?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Trey, you guys really picked it up in the second half of that second quarter. What was the difference out there?
I think it was just energy, and we were focusing on the details. I think the first quarter we were a little sloppy, started a little slow, too many turnovers, and I think we got a handle on the turnovers, and then the offense started to kind of flow.
You're the point guard. You run the show out there. I want you to pick one stat. If this stays close, that's going to win you this game.
Oh, it's going to be turnovers for sure. I think we're averaging around 20 per game, and we're losing possession. So if we don't turn the ball over, we got more chances to score. So that's what it's going to be.
All right. We appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
We'll go back to you guys.
Okay, I've been working like 3 jobs. Probably why I never see ya. Probably why I never have time for the fake friends that won't be ya. Oh God, I've been running now. Up early when the sun is out. Not setting out my own soul, but those real ones, they coming out. Oh, look who's reaching out. Old friends wanna feature now. They don't work, so they need it free. Ooh, you reaching out from the west side of that old town, but there's no shows till I go down to the open mic. Show love to the real ones that know now. Some of y'all don't know now. In a couple months, you gon' find out. Been blowing up from the underground, and they stepping on a landmine now. And they know it's my time now. Coming up, I'm on a climb now. Everybody claim they been ballin', but it's looking like they took a time out. Okay, I'm working on a a Wednesday, then up again the next day. So-and-so is popping, man, I skip him like he leg day. Kick it like I'm Pele, I never care what they say. Put myself on Spotify, so every day my payday. That realness, don't feel this, but I've been sick, that illness. I've been fresh like Will Smith since 94, man, I built this. Stressed out, X'd out, missed calls from my ex now. But I'm staying focused in the lab, baby, I don't need your calls or your text now. God say the boy blessed now, who am I to say Rondo? And the way that I Celtics, they been calling me Rondo. 23 in my prime though, finna ball like Lonzo. Go and tell everybody talking stage better be in that convo,
It was a Saturday. Chris was a good dad. His water practices, not so much. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Culligan. Got a water pitcher for the fam. Pretty safe, huh?
Well, basic water pitchers are passable, whereas a Culligan reverse osmosis system can reduce lead, arsenic, pesticide runoff.
You realize these have filters?
Chris, pour it out.
It's not going fast enough. Just done with that.
When your water's right, so is your world. I wrote that!
The Niagara River Lions with a 2-point lead here over the Edmonton Stingers. This halftime we'll have Amy Audbert's continuing series with Mike Moriali, the commissioner of the CEBL. We'll check in on our stats. Of course, yesterday in the CEBL, as we recap the game for you, we'll revisit the keys to the game with Joe Rasso and halftime stats presented by BetChris, and we'll cap all that off with an Amy Audbert interview with Stingers head coach Jermaine Small. We'll be back after a short break with our halftime.
Welcome to Payworks. We're payroll, HR, and time and absence management experts. So whether your business has thousands of employees or just one, let us show you how we're different. We're Payworks, and we're doing business to business, person to person.
A mark of legacy, a mark of our game. Spalding is the official basketball partner of the CEBL. Get your replica CEBL game ball now at cebl.ca and take our game to your courts.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, Kotak Law.
It's time to rep your CEBL pride, Canada. Exclusive new era merchandise is now available on cebl.ca. Buy your favorite hats, replica jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Welcome to our game. Edmonton Stingers fans, get 12% off 2021 season tickets by placing your $50 deposit before August 9th, 2020. Visit cebl.ca/thestingers and take advantage of this exclusive summer series offer. Welcome to a new basketball experience. River Lions fans, right now you can get 12% off 2021 season tickets by placing your $50 deposit before August 9th, 2020. Visit riverlions.ca and take advantage of this exclusive summer series offer. Welcome to a new basketball experience.
To game number 10 of the CEBL Summer Series between the 0-2 Ottawa Blackjacks and the undefeated Fraser Valley Bandits, who Pierre Charles can't get it to go at the rim. Clausen with it. Little dump pass underneath to Capers, who will jam it down.
Out of comfortable positions.
Oh! Jabs Newby tosses it up there for Tavarian Nix on the run. It's an alley-oop jam for Tavarian Nix.
It's back in that 2-3 zone, so we'll see how Ottawa attacks this.
They attack it beautifully. Very quick passing. Cadogan underneath. Forte for the win. No good. Tapped around. Rebound by Ottawa. And he falls to the ground for Hannah Mescal for the win. It's good. The Ottawa Blackjacks win 78-76 and close out a very tense Elam ending finish here and move to 1-2, while the Fraser Valley Bandits no longer the sole undefeated team.
Let's build on what we did yesterday. Let's have a good one. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, we about to turn up one time on these boys. They're not ready.
Hey, Crosby, get out here! Make it count! Don't take no energy home! Listen, man. Tonight is tonight!
Hey, family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Family.
Together. 1, 2, 3. Stay 4, 5, 6.
Got an opportunity to play basketball. Let's take advantage of it.
What is 100 years? In 1920, Erhard Cook turned a passion for headwear into the new era cap company in Buffalo, New York. But everyone was making this kind of hat. So we came up with the big idea to make the best caps for the biggest sport. But something wasn't quite right. We wanted to show the logos with pride. And just like that, the iconic 5950 was born, changing the baseball cap forever. For the first time, the caps the pros wore on the field were officially sold in stores. And then something unique happened. Spike Lee called, the Spike Lee, and asked to have a red Yankees cap to match his jacket. We asked Major League Baseball, and they said, we had a chance to be disruptive. Spike's red cap launched sports headwear into a wider culture. Hip-hop made it a staple. Creators made it their own. Colors, fabrics, patterns. It was more than just your favorite team. And a gold sticker on the visor became as iconic as the cap itself. And those 4 numbers, we think it's an original production number. We don't know for sure, but we love them. From courtside to Crenshaw, from the 50 to 5th, it shouted that this is who you were, what you repped, and where you lived. The world saw it and wanted it. Where were we? Staying true to our roots. Fans of all sports became fans of us. People liked what we were doing, so our brand grew, and we became more than just a cap. That's 100 years. We thank you. Enjoy what comes next.
All right, so from planning and implementing, now we're playing. Has life at all changed?
It's gotten slightly less hectic, but it's great to see the guys on the court and just to see basketball back in action. I think, you know, you saw it in the first couple of games, guys getting their legs under them, and then a couple of days later, man, they are up and down the court in a hurry. The competition has been fantastic, and I'm just so incredibly excited that we can deliver basketball across Canada.
On national television, I mean, how much pride do you have when you have your second to kind of turn on your tablet or laptop and then tune in?
I tune in all the time. I got multiple things going. I'm always attuned to, you know, what life is like for the viewer. And of course, there's nobody in the stand, so you have to look at the at-home product. So the beautiful thing is we've been on national television and we've unveiled our automatic TV, and both have worked tremendous. Obviously, the automatic TV part's very interesting because it's a system that's never been used in this country before, so it's still learning. It literally, artificial intelligence learns as it goes, and you know, we see where there's maybe some moments, okay, there needs some correction. For instance, Xavier Moon is too fast for the camera sometimes.
This is exciting, Joe. This is what Elam Ending's all about. Edmonton can win it with a 3 wide open. Matthew Kamba. He called game. He just dropped the mic and said, we're out.
But you know, the beautiful thing is that we can add bells and whistles as we go. So this is always, you know, a bit of a marathon here and getting going. We've started off out of the blocks fantastic. We got some, you know, 5 more national games on television to come, plus, you know, 20 some odd more games on GEM and on Twitch and everything. So we're doing everything that we wanted to do, and it's working out well.
Welcome back to the Meridian Center, where we have an outstanding matchup going on here between the River Lions and the Stingers, who are back on the floor now. Joe, what a great first 2 quarters we've had.
Wow, it's been a great game, and it's been a lot of it's been matching each other. The intensity has been picked up tremendously at it. I thought Edmonton got off to a great start. Xavier Moon has showed us everything. But I think the other part of it that's really important, well, let's go to Amy. Let us hear what she has to say.
Yeah, Amy's with Jermaine Small. Amy.
Much. Coach, let's go to that second quarter. Niagara took 13 free throws in that frame. And so was that a defensive breakdown on your end? The whistle change? What happened out there?
No, you got to give them credit. They're being very aggressive, and we got to tighten up, and we'll definitely tighten up in the second half. But credit goes to them that they're just being more aggressive right now.
I want to look at the other end of the court for you, because offensively, very efficient. 12 assists on 15 field goals, and you're shooting 50%. And so do you see any adjustments there, or is it strictly on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, we know they're really locked in on Moon. So other guys just have to take shots and make shots. It just comes down to makes and misses sometimes, and we got to get to the foul line now, too.
All right, we appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Amy and Joe. Coach Small said something you and I were talking about off air, free throws. And he's saying they need to get back to the line more. The River Lions changed things around for themselves when it came to the charity strike.
Well, up to the halfway point of the second quarter, Niagara hadn't been to the free throw line. And this is one of the points I talked about. You can't be a finesse team. You got to be a little bit more physical. They make 13 trips at the end of the second quarter because they were pushing the ball, because they were attacking the basket.
Let's revisit the Stingers' key to the game that you were talking about off the top, Joe.
So that was in the Stingers. The key to them was be physical without fouling. They did a great job of that, I thought, real early, because they didn't let Niagara get to the free throw line, defend the three-point line. That was the only weapon that Niagara had early in that game. And so they were going to try to do a little bit better job at that. And then penetration reaction, we saw a pile of that, where guys would get middle, draw two, and then kick it out and find the guy. So I think they've done a real good job. I thought maybe, lost their focus a little bit, but I think they had a pretty good half of basketball.
And the River Lions, a huge change first quarter to second quarter.
Yeah, no question. And it was started with Daniel Mullings coming out, putting pressure on the ball. They were more physical, getting the free throw line. They got to get some twos. They have to play with urgency, which they did. And that was because they were behind, and they can't wait to be behind. And then they have to control the ball on defense. They can't be chasing. Early in the game, I thought they were chasing. At the end of that quarter, I thought they did a better job of keeping the ball in front of them.
Now taking a look at the halftime stats presented by BetChris, and we talked a lot about turnovers off the top, and the River Lions, 7 turnovers in that first quarter, but they really took care of the rock the rest of the first half. Taking a look here, let's go with rebounds first. Not a lot to go around in that first half because of a pretty solid shooting percentage on both sides, both teams taking care of the rock in the second quarter, which kept those steal numbers down. The stats presented by BetChris, but everything pretty even, so it's no surprise that we're at a 2-point game here through 2 quarters, Joe.
Yeah, one of the things that jump out at the rebounds, it's tied, and that's a success for Niagara to be tied with Edmonton, because that's one of their strengths. But if you don't put a body on someone every possession, you're going to get what Matthew Kamba did, where he came in with that putback dunk.
Again, welcome inside the Meridian Center. Jason Tom here alongside Joe Razzo, Amy Audibert taking care of the sidelines. Just down the desk here a little bit to jump in with some of her great stories that she's been providing through the entire CEBL Summer Series. And we've taught time and time again the parity in this league, and these two teams really showing it, especially with the depth on their rosters, really going 9 or 10 deep. And one guy we haven't mentioned, Devontae Campbell for the Stingers, added today, was walking in probably about an hour before tip-off, hasn't played. He is on the bench. I doubt we're going to see him, but he is a defensive presence that, as this summer series progresses, could be a huge addition to the Stingers.
And that's great to see. But it's always great to see an opportunity to see a player play his first professional game. And this would be his first professional game if he gets in there today.
We got 15 seconds to go here before the beginning of the second half. Again, the Stingers with a double-digit lead in the first quarter as the River Lions kind of struggled out of the gate, but really got it together in that second quarter. And Joe, how important will be the first couple of minutes of this third quarter in setting the tone as we see the starting five that started the game back out there for the River Lions, same with the Stingers?
Well, you got the first team that punches is the team that's going to be in control early in this quarter, but it's going to be the team that stays the best defensively that I think will end up willing their way through the quarter.
The River Lions start with the rock because of that costly, or not because of, but along with that costly tech at the end of the first half on Xavier Moon. He'll have to be on his best behavior the rest of the way. But Moon is a pretty calm player, so must have said something not too nice to get teed up, and I'm sure he'll be able to stay in check the rest of this game. And the Stingers start up the third quarter with an equally questionable foul like they ended the first half.
Yeah, I just think it was just a situation where you just try to fight for real estate where the guy got there first. But what I did like was the fact that they started off in that zone. They looked really, really solid in the zone and forced Niagara to go in the perimeter. Now they're back to man.
Bell Haynes looking for Robertson running off the screen. Bell Haynes now running off Muldrow. He cannot corral the pass back the other way. Moon down low, Daniels to Baker, back to Daniels. Baker had a man down low. The cross-court pass picked off by Boucard, back the other way, Robertson.
That was great rotation. The fact that Sam Muldrow was the second guy in there made that pass a tough pass.
Bell Haynes driving, dishing. Boucard, he's been quiet in this game, but gets two to go on the reverse.
Yeah, that was good ball reversal. The ball wasn't stopped. It moved real well and gave them a nice lane to get through for Trey.
The tale of two benches right now. The River Lions are up and just communicating with each other. The Stingers focused on their side. Moon. Daniels sees a quick double. He fires it, almost ends up in the first row of the score table here. No good combo from range. And it's going to stay. Okay, so the ref is saying white, but he's pointing the way of the Stingers. I believe it should be Stingers' ball, and it looks like they will get it.
And the fortunate part there for Edmonton was that the shot left just before the 24-second clock went.
Baker looking for Daniels. Daniels had those big eyes saying, I want the rock. Ooh, but it ends up out of his hands directly into Muldrow's breadbasket.
When you have a shot blocker like Sam, he doesn't have to block shots to affect shots. He just has to be around the neighborhood.
Bell Haynes taking it at Baker. Trey Bell Haynes, he's had a couple that have just rolled out. Moon, blink and you'll miss him. Oh, another tasty dish, a little fettuccine Alfredo from Xavier Moon. Great pass.
And great control on the take all the way through.
Anderson, quick trigger. He felt good about it, back rim and out. Foul called. Man, Jermaine Small's voice box isn't going to last this summer series. He was sounding like Doc Rivers on the interview with Audibert. Right now, he is still getting into his players.
Sam Muldrow there looked really tired in transition, and Trey Bell Haynes took the foul so that he can get a substitution. So a good foul there for Niagara, because that could have resulted in two the other way when you have a man down like that.
Xavier Moon. Anderson's on him. That is a tall task. Baker, trigger, no good. Foul on Daniels, I believe. Little forearm shiver to Ryan Edgem.
Yeah, when you put a body on somebody, now they have to react. Either you're going to get the rebound, or in that case there, now you've got somebody annoyed.
Two and a half gone here in the third quarter. The River Lions maintaining their 2-point lead. Oh, Cassius Robertson, finger roll off the back rim and good.
Good take, and Ryan Anderson there spaced out the floor and gave them a lane because they couldn't help off of Ryan.
Boom. Take a look again there. That's some pretty English. Daniels takes it at Edgem, push off, step back, and a yell from Daniels. He's been battling it a bit here today, but got that one to go.
Well, he just keeps working and working, and he's got all those shots in his arsenal.
Oh, Robertson can't get his second in a row. Rebound, Diawara. Oh, hard dribble and take. Did not get bailed out by the whistle. Tripped over himself, I believe. Bell Haynes, Robertson into the corner. Anderson, he is not going to miss 2 in a row, Joe.
And that was good identification where you get a great shooter like Cassius Robertson knowing that there's another great shooter in the corner and gave him a little bit of time.
Telling you, man, this Niagara bench is a totally different animal from the last couple of games. They are starting to feel it. And they're calling that one on Anderson. He and Moon got tangled up. Things are getting a little bit chippy out there, Joe. I kind of like it.
Well, a veteran move like Ryan Anderson on that there. He's got a quick player like Xavier Moon. He knows that it's going to be his disadvantage if Xavier gets the ball. He put all his effort in not letting Xavier get the basketball.
Bell Lifestyle Products is proud to provide natural health products for the elite athletes of the CEBL, retired athletes, and weekend warriors alike. Never stop doing your thing. Men's health empowered by nature. Bell Lifestyle Products. Xavier Moon drop off to Baker. 2 is good. Cutting the lead down to 3.
Jordan Baker does such a great job of making himself visible in a small space. He anticipates and gets there.
Edgem, foul line jumper. I bet you Ryan Edgem is very happy to see that get through the rim.
Yeah, that was a balanced open look. It's probably the most balanced shot he's had. Sometimes he has trouble catching the ball, and I think he starts thinking about moving his feet before he catches it. There he was set.
Can't speed up Xavier Moon unless he wants to speed himself up. Brody Clark. I really like how Brody carved out that space down low. I think he'll be going to the line to shoot 2, and I'm going to take that opportunity to talk to you about Kotak Law, the official law firm of the CEBL Summer Series. Now, they know these times have been hard for many Canadians. That's why they're donating $7,000 to the Canadian Mental Health Association. They invite CEBL fans to join them. Visit cmha.ca today and join Nainish Kotek in supporting the mental health of Canadians from coast to coast.
Edmonton's put a little bit of pressure on every free throw here, 2-2-1. Back to his own, and they've done a nice job because Niagara hasn't attacked it. They've just tried to get through it.
The Stingers are battling it a bit right now, but they're doing a very good job of keeping it within 1 or 2 possessions. Oh, nice pass. Robertson. Good ball movement by Niagara, but better defense. Baker pokes it away. Bell Haynes getting after it. Takes it right back. Trey Bell Haynes, I think, has been the most important player for the River Lions
And he's
today.
done a great job. We got a technical foul away from the play.
Yeah, Edgem wanted a foul call. He picked up a tech instead. Coach Victor Razzo summed it up perfectly. We cannot have that.
Well, it becomes his 4th foul. Here he is playing with 3. He knows he's got 3. This is a situation where you can't put yourself ahead of what your team's trying to do. And situations like that become selfish. In pro basketball and other basketball, you can't do that. That's just not the way to do it. You got to suck it up and you got to take it down.
I mentioned things were getting a little bit chippy. Not physicality necessarily. It's been physical from the beginning. Just the chirping and the talking. And you're right, Joe, especially when you're talking about the Fiba rules. Picking up technical fouls. Just a complete waste. 5 fouls and you're out of this one. Edgem now on the bench with 4. The River Lions had to change up their rotation a little bit because of that. Baker to Peter McNeely. Niagara active defensively. They've already burnt the shot clock down to 6. Baker back to Clark. He can shoot the 3. Back rims it. Anderson held off the body. The ball went off his foot, but the River Lions get it up 4. Robertson into the corner. 3, no good from Anderson. 2 River Lions collide, and the Stingers are on the run. Xavier Moon, of course. Xavier Moon in transition.
And I love their transition because it's a straight line transition. They push it with the dribble right there. He just went right to the rim, and if he was stopped, then he's going to kick it out. But they're looking for the 2 first.
Blaze fired it to Bell Haynes. He runs off the Boucard screen, little pocket pass, extra pass, and the spike. Grandy with a little glaze on it.
Good movement, good recognition, but Cassius Robertson on the weak side, Adika doesn't know if he can rotate or not because he's got such a great shooter on that side.
Take a look at the replay of the Grandy Glaze slam. Little maple glaze, little chocolate glaze. And a big rebound by the Stingers. Machukamba bringing it down and putting it up, cutting the lead to 2. Man, Joe, this game continues to go back and forth.
And that was a great offensive rebound because Edmonton just sent guys and Niagara didn't put their body on guys.
Glaze killed the dribble, 8 on the shot clock now. Bell Haynes splitting them. Oh, Bell Haynes had the ball on the string, but the River Lions can't convert. Kamba back the other way. Ooh, nice in and out dribble. Machukamba basket in the bump, and suddenly the Stingers bench is up and fired up.
2 real good transition takes by the Stingers there late in the last couple minutes. I just like the way they attack the basket in straight lines in transition.
Timeout on the floor. I'm telling you, it is fiery out here. Stay with us. We'll be back live. Oh, hold on. Maybe not a timeout. Hold on. No timeout called. Oh, the Stingers are trying to take the opportunity, though. Hey, they head faked me. I totally bet on that pass fake. Now they're going to come together and confirm that nobody did indeed call a timeout. And now a media timeout. We'll be back live on CBCSports.ca and the CBC Gem app.
The CEBL is more than just basketball. It's about community, art, music, stories, food, and so much more. It's a professional basketball experience like no other, a lifestyle like no other, and it's time to bring it all together. Welcome to the CEBL Life, a forum where artists, musicians, videographers, community workers, writers, chefs, and innovative minds unite for one purpose, to showcase their talents and connect with a sport we all love, basketball. Head over to CEBL.ca to learn more. Follow the Edmonton Stingers on social media right now to get the latest news, updates, and behind-the-scenes access that the Stingers have to offer. Follow the Niagara River Lions on social media right now to get the latest news, updates, and behind-the-scenes access that the River Lions have to offer.
We're back at the Meridian Center, and it's the Stingers who have been able to weather the River Lions storm and now have an opportunity to jump back in the lead for the first time since the first quarter.
Yeah, they've done a real good job in converting defense to offense, and they do it real quick, and their efficiency is incredible. They'll take the 2. They won't mess with it.
Oh, Machukamba. The only place he hasn't been getting it done is the free throw line. He currently has 9 and 8, 4 of 8 from the floor. And Dorian Pinson, fresh off the bench, no good. Oh, Daniel Mulling skying for the rebound, but cannot convert. And in transition, Moon takes it himself. Oh, a little soft finish, but he got up.
Yeah, and there was a situation where Niagara's done a great job not turning the ball over, and there they got styled a little bit on it.
Watson, drive, kick, Pinson. Back out to Bell Haynes, 10 on the shot clock. Bell Haynes, ooh, taking it at Kamba. Bell Haynes working it. Pinson with the putback. They're going to get it back. Are the River Lions. The 2021 CEBL season ticket drives well underway. It will continue throughout the CEBL Summer Series. You can visit thestingers.ca or riverlions.ca to place your $50 deposit, receive a 12% discount, and secure your 2021 season tickets. And you know who secured that? Daniel Mullings, wide open on the inbounds.
And that's where he's real good. And he's not as big and strong, but he plays strong. He's a very good post player inside when he gets advantage.
Taking it at Mullings, pulls it back. Xavier Moon is lights out. Mullings taking it back at Moon, spinning. Goes off of Glaze's belly. Can't finish. And the River Lions will inbound here because it went off Moon out of bounds.
I think that's a mistake to dribble up against Xavier Moon. I think you've got to pass the ball, get the ball into Uatua's hand. You've got to pass the basketball so you don't get caught in a situation like that.
Emmanuel Uatua, no stick back jam, Grandy Glaze.
If you don't put a body on them.
Glaze hasn't been out there an awful lot, but he's doing what he does, which is bring energy against his former squad. Oh, good trap, Watson. 6 on the shot clock. Oh, that is a terrible call, Joe. He tripped on the basketball.
Yeah, football's to advantage. I think that was, oh, he called a foul. Oh, I thought he called it a football.
We'll move on from that one. Unless it was the other foot possibly, but that just looked like a trip on the basketball. And credit to the River Lions who went from arguing the call to clapping for it to try to get their anger out that way. And just like that, the Stingers take a 1-point lead. That one hurts.
And it hurts for a couple reasons. One is momentum there, right? That's a big basket on the defensive.
And extra foul on Watson. Oh, Miss Mullings on the cut. And almost turned it over.
This is a good decision with Coach Small, looking at personnel on the floor right now and not having a real shooter on the court for Niagara, going to the zone and packing it in against Watson and against Grandy Glaze.
Uatua with the rock. Watson gets himself to the free throw line, bricks it. Under a minute to go now, the Stingers with an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game.
Yeah, Tyrone didn't look confident on that last shot.
Nice high-low, but Baker could not corral it. Transition, Pinson. Uatua pulls it back. Oh, Emmanuel Uatua plays with confidence, Joe.
And right now, he's the guy that if you're going to have anybody hold the basketball, and he may be the best shooter. Him and Daniel Mullings are the 2 best shooters on the floor.
That was a huge shot. River Lions up 1. Clark has got Glaze on him. Peter McNeely looking to answer. Back rim, no good. Pinson comes down with it. Uatua's ahead, gives it to Mullings. 2 on the shot clock. Daniel Mullings, on the game clock. Mullings couldn't get it to go. It's a 1-point lead through 3. Tell your friends to tune in to cbcsports.ca or the CBC Gem app because we got ourselves a great game.
Elam Ending is upon us, and they take the timeout to set the target score.
Gets up into the air, gets it to go! Not there, Boucard in the corner for 3. Guillaume Boucard at the buzzer, drains it, and the Niagara River Lions get out of here with a 93-92 victory.
Well, when I was younger in high school, I was a pretty good athlete. Went to the provincial championships in most sports like volleyball, track, basketball, and of course the goalie. But lately I've been going up the stairs like Fred Sanford. That's why I use Inflamex. Remember, 2 M's, 2 X's.
Inflamex is formulated to relieve joint pain, helps address pain and inflammation at the cellular level, and is GMO-free and allergen-free.
I'm doing better with a little help from my friends at Bell Lifestyle Products, so you can do the things that you do best.
Oh, yeah!
The Stingers with the rock, down 1. Only guys in foul trouble, both wearing River Lions jerseys. Ryan Edgem and Ryan Anderson both with 4. And the game very much hanging in the balance here as we start off the 4th quarter. Mullins called for the foul on the body. Little over-aggressive.
Yeah, that's a great matchup right now. Not many teams have players that can guard Xavier Moon from getting like that closely and that well.
Daniels inbounding on the baseline. Lobs it over to Baker. Grandy Glaze gets right up in his grill. And then Baker takes him to the hole. Baker has quietly had a very solid game. And a foul back the other way. Everybody's super aggressive right now.
And when you look at it, Edmonton does just a good job of keeping the ball alive because they come from the perimeter where you're not being boxed out and they get their hands on it.
Emmanuel Uatua has played some very big minutes for the River Lions, and he is inbounding now. Mullings, again, coming off the bench in this game. It's worked so far for Niagara. Uatua, bounce pass to Watson, but he got swallowed up by the Stingers, who are just so big down low.
Yeah, Daniels' length is real good, and he's a good reactive blocker.
Daniels from range, no good. Uatua comes down with it. Mullings, headman. Great look to Glaze. That could have been a travel, and it was a travel.
And it was the get back, the hustle of Edmonton that looked like it was going to be an easy dunk, caused the turnover.
Mullings, very nice touch on that outlet pass as well, but Glaze could not convert. Almost a minute gone here in the 3rd quarter. Again, 4 minutes. Whistle after 4 minutes. We got Elam time, but Pinson with the steal. Mullings in transition. Foul. Oh, cannot get the roll. Mullings losing his mind over there.
And that was a great take by Daniel because he knew that Xavier didn't want to get involved in that. So he made the contact and then looked for the finish.
Moon, just his 3rd. That is impressive considering he had that tech at the end of the first half.
And he's really good. I've watched him in this series play with 2 or 3 fouls. He's very good at not getting himself in a situation where he's going to have to get pulled off the court.
Grandy Glaze also got a warning at the end of the 3rd quarter, and he's still speaking over there in a loud tone towards his bench, though, to ensure that he doesn't pick up any technical foul.
I don't know if Grandy was on the debating team at Grand Canyon. Not many arguments you're going to win there with Coach Dan Marley.
Baker, kick out, Moon. Oh, got it poked away, I think, on the pass attempt. A little deflection, Uatua. Strong move, but he can't finish. The River Lions have missed an awful lot of those today.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play there, and I thought he had Grandy on his wing.
Moon, no good. Daniels, offensive rebound and putback. This is Daniels' time. He gives a little Hulk Hogan one-handed bicep flex on the back end.
The second chances are coming on offensive rebounds, but guys don't have bodies on people. Great tax by Edmonton.
Uatua gets into the lane, then finds Glaze. No good. That's not the shot you want Grandy to take in this juncture of the game. We're tied at 68, 2 minutes in. Ryan Edgem with 4 fouls back into the, and that is a veteran play. Ryan Edgem goes to the official and makes amends for whatever he said previously because he's got 4 fouls. He wants to make sure he and the official are on good terms. We're tied at 68, 2:10 gone in the third quarter. Joe, we've seen a little bit of everything in this game, and now tied at 68. We are 3 minutes and 50 seconds away from the beginning of Elam time. Once that whistle goes, man, a lot can happen in the next 3:50 before we even get to that spot.
So right now what's happening in these timeouts is you're talking about that 3:50. We're playing to that 3:50
This is
plus.
the fourth quarter.
This is it.
Yeah.
So the Elam time's your 5th quarter. We've got to finish and we've got to defend. So the baskets over here, the Edmonton are getting those second chance baskets by putting offensive rebounds in. Niagara's talking we can't give them second chance opportunities. At the same time, Edmonton's saying we can't give Niagara the runouts that we've been given and having to make up, getting back on defense to try to stop them.
The big difference, too, we've talked about turnovers since the beginning. A reminder, River Lions had 7 turnovers in the first quarter. They're still sitting at 10 right now. It's only 3 the rest of the way. The minute that the Stingers can turn that around and start getting the ball out of the hands of the River Lions, this game can change in a hurry.
Well, absolutely. And I think early in the game, a lot of those turnovers were unforced. And, if you use that tennis term, it's a great term because a lot of those turnovers are mental breakdowns.
You're watching the Edmonton Stingers and Niagara River Lions tied at 68, 7:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. The first of 2 games today. You still got another one coming at you after this one. Moon. Foul called, sorry, and I just wanted to remind everybody, it's the Rattlers and the Nighthawks coming up about 25 minutes after this game concludes. $7:33 to go here in the fourth. Baker. Daniels down low to Baker. Can't get it to go, but of course, gets his own rebound, cleans up the mess.
He's just relentless, and he's balanced. Like he's just balanced and goes hard. Not a great lift, but he uses his width and his strength.
Edgem dribbles it, or passes it off his own head. Foul called on Baker. They're asking for, and I believe they have, the intentional foul, Joe.
Yeah, the unsportsmanlike there for the grab.
Sorry, yes.
But, Ryan's had his little bit of difficulties. But if you catch the ball in that position where Ryan had it and you catch it to shoot, then you're not worried about using the dribble to get yourself down. Just straight high-low.
For all the great things Jordan Baker does, it's one of those fouls that, it's the same reason why you love Jordan Baker's game can result in something like that. Just over-aggressive, wants to tie the guy up. But again, those FIBA rules come back to bite you. 2 free throws and the ball, so we're tied at 70. A very, very important portion of the game right there. Trey Bell Haynes, who has really been the leader for the River Lions in this game. Almost out of bounds. Robertson was off the mark with that pass attempt. Edgem is good.
And good job of finding the open space. And Trey did a nice job of getting him a little bounce pocket pass.
Most under control that he has been. If you take a look at that unsportsmanlike foul one more time. Kareem South gets it to Baker, but no, it's poked away by Boucard. Boucard has been silent offensively, but defensively, his length has done a lot of work. Talking about defense, Edgem with the block. Who else? Baker, put back.
And that's because the guys in Niagara have to cover down and find Jordan. His man left to make the block the shot. Therefore, somebody's got to get their body on him.
Oh, great stop and go by Trey Bell Haynes. They said that was clean by Baker down low. Tied at 72. The Stingers with the rock. 4 minutes in to the fourth quarter. Moon off the Daniels screen. Moon, mid-range game. No good. Boucard rebound. Daniels tries to tie him up. No good.
And that was the same pass. Same pass, maybe a little bit of rush by Ryan.
Double substitution now for Edmonton. Checking back in the game, number 10, Matthew Campbell. Number 14, Brody Clark.
The next game for the Stingers, August 1st. That's the CBC game. Looking forward to that one for all the fans out there. Boucard with the jumper, big-time shot. They'll be taking on the Rattlers in the River Lions next game, August 2nd against the Fraser Valley Bandits. They were handed their first loss of the summer series the other day. That will be an outstanding matchup. They're all outstanding matchups right now. We're in the middle of a great one right now as we speak. Brody Clark, jumper, no good. Baker, he didn't come down with one.
But he kept the possession alive on the first time with the first tip.
Bell Haynes saying, don't worry about the screen. Give it to me. I'll take it. Oh, he's dancing on him. Oh, he's dancing on him. Trey Bell Haynes, don't do it. Heck of a move.
Great.
TBH.
Great spin on a bigger guy. Had the bigger guy backpedaling in Jordan Baker.
Moon. Oh, a kiss off of glass. So smooth, so sweet. Favorite move.
Money in the bank on that one. Great lift, great shot.
Business is picking up, Joe. And we are knocking on the door to Elam ending time. Daniel Mullings taken into the post. Edgeham, he's starting to feel it. Can't get that one to go. Transition, Brody Clark. And a foul. That is a very bad foul to take to Trey Bell Haynes.
It's a bad foul, but it's a bad possession after. It's a bad defensive transition after the shot. You got a post player taking a shot from the elbow, and everybody's watching it. We've got three get back. River Lions should have three get back guys getting there. Good run out by Brody Clark. Good find.
Yeah, it's Bell Haynes with the foul. Third foul. Timeout on the floor. And it's a good timeout because now you're possibly extending when you're going to get to Elam ending time, Joe.
Yes, if you're behind or if it's a close game, this timeout, free throw, now we get under 4 minutes. And Elam time could start at 3:10, 3:12.
Yep.
So we don't know when it's going to start if there's a flow of the game, right?
And you'll get some added time then. During that time, you're buying yourself 2 portions of time to be able to talk with your team.
Now, with both teams at 3 fouls, some teams will decide, you know what, we've watched some of the teams use the foul to get to Elam time.
Since we're knocking on the door, let's head it over to Amy.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Just something to keep an eye on, a potential Summer Series record. Right now, Guelph holds the record for most points by their bench at 43, but the River Lions, they've got 40 right now. What's most incredible about this to me, guys, is the only guy in double-digit scoring off the bench is Daniel Mullings. Everybody else still in single digits, but what balance in that second unit to come in and score some points today. So they are 4 points away from having that record in the series so far.
Thank you, Amy, as always. Very important to point out the fact that the River Lions made a huge change to their starting 5 by putting Mullings on the bench. And talking to him before the game, he was excited about what he could do, not only himself come in to be able to score the ball, but to be able to set up his teammates. And it looks like he has been able to deliver in helping spread that offense around. As Amy mentioned, already 40 bench points for the River Lions. Spreading the love offensively, as they say. And it's a 1-point lead for the Stingers, 77-76. Similar positioning to our last game, which was an outstanding Elam ending, as it were. Bell Haynes, probing, driving, forcing the whistle. And just like that, we are inside Elam ending time. They will shoot the free throws first. Am I correct, Joe, before?
Yeah, teams will go to their bench. Teams will go to the bench. They'll shoot the 2 free throws. And no matter what happens on the second free throw, it'll be Edmonton's ball on the baseline. Even if it's a miss, it doesn't matter. It becomes Edmonton's ball on the baseline.
Hits the first, tied at 77. Well, this is what Elam ending is all about.
Well, this basket will determine the Elam's target score,
which will now be
86. 87. Holy. Here I am looking at that. Come on.
Hey.
Where's that math gone?
No. It was. I gave it some time there because I was doing the math in my head, and you jumped in ahead of me. So thank you for taking the bullet for me, Joe. I appreciate it. The target score will be 87. Joe, because I can't do a good job of it, can you please take us through the Elam ending information, as it were?
Okay. So our goal is a target score, and the first team to 87 wins. It doesn't matter if it's a free throw, a field goal. First 87 or over wins, and that's the key part of it. Now, a few things will happen in the Elam time that we've adopted in the CEBL we've adopted Fiba's last 2-minute rules in the CEBL for Elam time. So a situation might be you call a timeout, you have a choice taking the back court or the front court. Another situation is if the ball's out of bounds, on a sideline out of bounds, the referee will put their hand up and signal that you can't cross the barrier. And then what will happen is if you reach over, it's an unsportsmanlike foul. So those are two of the things that can happen that you got to keep in mind. And all this is part of the CEBL adopting the Elam rule, but not changing the Fiba rules. We don't want to have possession and the ball. We don't want to. We stay with the same Fiba rules that we've been playing with, that everybody who plays Fiba across the country, the world's rules, and we just follow them right to the very end.
Very unique situation here in the CEBL. Xavier Moon living for Elam ending time. He already has a game winner under his belt in this summer series. Brody Clark. Oh, he got the ball down before the travel call. Good ball movements. 3 is no good. Watson with the rebound. Ooh, Tyrone Watson pushing it. Oh, Boucard had an open lane, dribbled it off his foot though. 14 on the shot clock. Bell Haynes watched by Moon. Off to Watson's screen. Bell Haynes sent back by Clark. All kinds of bodies hitting the floor in the corner. Said it went off the head of an Edmonton Stinger. 6 on the shot clock.
As Guillaume Boucard got wiped out on that, like it looked like 2 pulling guards on it.
6 on the shot clock. We are just into Elam ending time. Timeout for the River Lions. So 87 is the target score. Interesting thing about Elam ending time, we have yet to have a team that was trailing come out winning, even though yesterday we had a tie game heading into Elam time. So I guess that's a push, as they would say. But I think the other thing is any team that has been trailing has ended up outscoring the team that still ends up winning in Elam ending time.
Yeah, often. Now, the other part of Elam time is there's 2, you can carry 2 timeouts as into Elam time. And so right now they both had 2 timeouts. You saw Niagara use it before the 4-minute mark to burn the timeout. And now with 6 seconds on the shot clock, the reason for the timeout is the possession is so important that they're going to maybe draw something new or a counter to a set that they have that will give them something they have in 6 seconds. And whatever they call here has to be able to go against man or zone because you don't know what the Stingers are thinking.
Yeah, and I guess heading into this, like any time, like if it was an overtime in a regular basketball game, you would want to go through a couple of different plays ahead of time. But in Elam ending time, this is really stuff you need to practice before you even get into a game situation.
Yeah, and I think sometimes this is where timeouts become valuable in that, are you using a timeout to save a turnover? Or are you using a timeout to get a better possession? And so right there, I think Coach felt that it was important to get a better possession here.
Bell Haynes inbounding on the baseline. Finds Robertson. Pull up 3 while getting fouled. A possible 4-point play. Cash going to the line.
So there was Niagara, ran a set that they hadn't run all yet, hadn't showed that at least all series long, and they get something and surprise Edmonton, not with the play, but with that play in particular, and Cassius finishes it off.
Before that shot, Cassius Robertson had 6 points, and he gets the bounce. He was just 1 of 5 from downtown. Huge shot from the money man, Cassius Robertson, 82-77. The Stingers have yet to score in Elam time. Peter McNeely pulls it back, gets it down low. Baker, he's looking for contact. Boucard called for the foul.
So you can watch Adika and Baker on that ball screen at the top of the key. Adika holds his dribble and keeps dribbling because he lets Jordan roll deeper and deeper. Jordan should be a real estate agent. He buries himself in the prime location whenever he's off the ball.
Location, location, location. Jordan Baker.
The other part.
Sorry, go ahead.
The other part of Jordan Baker's game, which is very good, and I don't want to give it to him, he shoots the free throw so well for a guy who makes a lot of contact.
Oh, but offensive rebound. Mullings then strips Kamba. Mullings didn't start the game, but he's out there trying to finish it. Robertson, once again. Robertson starting to feel it. It gets down low to Watson. Watson on Peter McNeely. Ooh, all kinds of contact, and he folds up on Brody Clark. That is an awful lot of man to be falling on your leg, Brody Clark.
I like the way Edmonton came on that double. They didn't come immediately. They came on the dribble. And they put themselves in a situation to go down the other end. They drew the foul after that, and then now they've got a chance here for 2.
Clark checks out of the game for Daniels. In the bonus right now, the Stingers going to the line. This is the guy you want at the charity stripe. Nothing but net on the first. Target score is 87.
Xavier has logged more minutes than anyone in this series, and he looks as fresh as can be.
Hasn't slowed down, that's for sure. It's the second. We got a great ending to what has been an outstanding game. Mullings to Watson. Foul called on Baker.
And that's where Tyrone did a much better job of not catching in the post like that, but trying to draw contact. It's tough. You're still playing the fourth quarter. It's not over elim time. The referee's still going to referee the same stuff. It's the fact that we're in bonus situation now that's going to reward every little foul. The last 2 were touch fouls and ended up with free throws.
I think what everybody's learning as well as we go along here is who you can have out on the floor come this time when it comes to free throws.
The other rule, and that's part of the FIBA under 2 minutes, is if you get scored upon, you can substitute. So you can play offense to defense in elim time.
83-80. 87 is a target score. Oh, Moon, smart move. Oh, I thought that had a chance. Boucard picks up his second foul of elim time, and Moon will be shooting 3.
The referees are gathering right now to find out.
Told you, Joe.
Well, I like the idea that they gather just to make sure, because we're not using the video replay that we would in a FIBA tournament.
I just figured that Moon would make sure he was outside. He has a chance to tie this game. It's the first. Very tense in here right now.
Yeah, but he looks just like nothing's going on. His body language is sensational.
I'm definitely more nervous than Xavier Moon is right now, and that shouldn't be the case.
And here you got Jordan quarterbacking the defense right now, making sure they got the matchups they want.
All 3. Moon is just unwavering. Tied at 83. The River Lions need 4. The Stingers need 4. Niagara with the rock. Watson drive, kick, Trey Bell Haynes. He's been huge all game, and he hits a monster shot. 3 ball.
Good identification there by Tyrone.
Moon working on Mullings. Kamba. Not great spacing right now, but Daniels just pushed off Bell Haynes, but they didn't foul, which was smart. The River Lions just need any basket, free throw, three-pointer, layup, dunk, take your pick. And of course, Cassius Robertson from range, no good. Bell Haynes has the ball in his hands. 10 on the shot clock. Bell Haynes getting into the lane. He's poked away by Baker. Mullings down low. Watson goes up. 24-second shot clock violation, Joe.
Yes, Tyrone didn't realize what the clock was at now.
The Stingers had another timeout. They call it. Well, you can't ask for much more than this, Mr. Rasso.
Wow, the strategy here now is huge because Edmonton did a great job, loose ball, got themselves on there, forced to play defense right to the last second. Now you're talking about who plays the best defense wins, because defense gives you an opportunity to play again. It's just like everywhere you go. If you defend last possession, you get a chance to win it. This is what Elam time's all about. This is why we're not dealing with, clocks running down. We've taken out that third factor. The clock has been eliminated. Somebody's going to make a bucket. And so right now, both teams in bonus, so you can't foul. You got to play honest. So you got to be careful here now of penetration, because you can't give up the layup. And so you may see an open shot here out of rotation.
This is an absolutely huge possession, because the Stingers sit in 2-1. They pick up the win, 3-1, guaranteeing themselves a spot, really, in the playoffs and possibly a bye heading into the semis. The River Lions, with a loss, drop to 1-3. They now could be on the outside looking in when it comes to playoff time. This is, you want to talk about big possessions? Doesn't get any bigger than this.
Yeah. And here you've got their River Lions' best defender on Xavier Moon. And what Edmonton did was they didn't allow the ball to come back to Trey. I wouldn't be surprised here if Daniel Mullings denies the ball back to Xavier and makes somebody else do something.
Peter McNeely with the ball. They're going to have Moon off of the ball. He flashes up. Mullings cuts him off. Baker finds himself an open lane, and Jordan Baker puts it on ice. A Baker's dozen. 87-86 the final. The Stingers did it. They improved to 3-1. An absolutely massive finish from the Golden Bears alumni, and a huge hug between Travis Daniels and his head coach, Jermaine Small.
He did, it's not just a finish. His fake on the handoff sold it. That was just textbook. He sold it, gave himself time to drive down the middle, and even Ryan Edgman trying to step up for the charge wasn't there. He sold that fake handoff there and came in and to his strong arm. So, he's been doing it all series long.
That was an unbelievable ending to a great game. The Stingers improved to 3-1. The River Lions now at 1-3. And they're trying to corral. No one's been able to stop Jordan Baker, but we got him to bring him down to the baseline. And Jordan Baker is with Amy Audibert, the game winner. Amy, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Jordan, another monster game, but the most important possession of the game, you took control. Can you break it down on what you saw out there?
It was actually supposed to go to Moon, but they did a good job taking him away, so we just kept playing basketball. It's a nice part about the Eli man. You don't have to worry about game clock, just kind of play ball, and lucky enough to get open.
True veteran, back-to-back. Big game tomorrow. So what do the next 22 hours look like for you?
Probably going to hop in an ice bath, get some Wendy's, and really recover the right way.
All right, and one more question. What did this team mean to your locker room right now, as best you can?
Sorry, repeat the question.
What did this win mean to your locker room right now?
3-1 looks a lot better than 2-2 for us. You know, we're trying to go 4-1 tomorrow, wrap up a tough 48-hour stretch against two really good teams. But we're all in it for each other. You know, a lot of guys back from last year, so we're really excited to hopefully be going into the playoffs on a little bit of momentum streak.
Appreciate your time, Jordan. Great
Thanks.
game. We'll go back to you guys.
Thank you, Amy. Jordan Baker, who I thought was quiet today. 19 points, 12 boards, 6 assists, and a game winner. He deserves a Frosty after all that, Joe.
Well, and I'm telling you, it was when he scored in the fourth quarter. Offensive tips, offensive rebounds, great fake there. He read the situation, played the veteran move on that, saw what came, solid take, just a great, solid performance on both ends of the floor.
You know what I absolutely love in the post-game interview? He says, well, the ball was supposed to go to Moon, so it wasn't even drawn up for him, and sometimes those are the best kind of plays. What a great game as we continue to catch our stride here at the CEBL Summer Series. We'll be back soon enough, 5:30 Eastern, and you'll see the Rattlers taking on the Guelph Nighthawks. Another great battle, 1-1 versus 2-1. Stay with us. We'll be back soon enough. What a great game. Tell your friends to tune in. We're on CBC Gem and CBCSports.ca.